Hello, everybody. My name is Alejandro Ortiz. You are listening to a Random Gamers Corner. I am joined by one of my many co-hosts, Mason,
Yes, sir.
and we are joined by the Switch It Up podcast today. Guys, would like to introduce yourselves?
What's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler, joined by Kolby, as well as obviously the Random Gaming Corner crew. We have come to collab on a special episode today to talk about a game near and dear to our hearts. Uh,
In a
but
game not near and dear to a lot of people's hearts.
I was about to say it seems a little polarizing, but Kolby, would you like
Sure.
to introduce our podcast real quick before we get the shameless plug out of the way real quick? So
As mentioned, we are the Switch It Up podcast. We are an all things Nintendo podcast, going on about a year and a half. Just put out episode 83 overall, and yeah, we just talk about everything Nintendo, from news to game reviews. Random spitballing here and there. It's a lot of fun. We enjoy it, and it's because of that we were able to collab with these awesome guys today and talk about, as previously stated, everyone's most favorite and least favorite game.
so it seems to be these days. Mobile. I mean, being a mobile game, not too surprising, but please take it away and tell the audience what we're doing.
Today, we're going to talk about Fire Emblem Heroes, and we'll go into a bit of Fire Emblem, this whole series in general. And it's funny you guys mentioned that about like the whole polarizing aspect to it, because like one thing I found funny that even the Fire Emblem community would say is that the people who hate Fire Emblem most are Fire Emblem fans. So
It's so true.
It's so very true.
it's like they can't just
Definitely.
agree. It's like nobody can agree just to like, oh yeah, this guy's little pros and cons, while this definitely doesn't. It's a bit funny just saying that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mason, you know what I'm talking about. We've been Amino. It's
Oh God, I mean,
Well,
Unfortunately.
I've had experience in that front too. It can be exactly as you guys are implying.
oh yeah.
But
So people, if you haven't seen that side yet, you are blessed, because my goodness, that's a dark place. But all right, so let's first off talk about Tyler's luck. How possible?
is that
Why
what we're
is it
starting with? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Why don't you give your perspective on it before I give mine?
Okay, for anyone who doesn't know, like things have been going really well. Things have really improved for Fire Emblem Heroes. Summoning has been very strenuous for me before, like they add some really good features, and I can't complain about it now because, well, if you just like do 40 summons, you'll get like a good 5-star for free, and sometimes you get like a pity break or so, but I haven't having that kind of luck. But then I go on Twitter one day, and I see
Uh,
I see a certain someone's
We all go on
timeline
Twitter.
filled with really good summons. I'm like, how? I'm jealous.
I mean, uh, I don't really have much to defend myself. It's scary at this point. Like,
Yeah.
How?
like every single time I start summoning, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be the time where like, it's gonna calm down a little bit, and I'm just gonna have a normal, not crazy summon session. But I'm thinking about becoming a Fire Emblem Heroes YouTuber now because I feel like this content is gonna be really good if I'm just pulling 5-stars constantly. But uh, yeah, for those of we talked about this on our podcast episode a little bit ago,
Yeah.
where I talked about how I had recently come back to Fire Emblem Heroes after being absent for much of its kind of renaissance and improvement phase. I did, I believe you and I, Alejandro, have talked about this in the Twitter DMs as well, but I got it when it first came out, and then I just kind of fell off it pretty quick. I didn't really get into it, and then I came back, and this game has become much, much more approachable for newcomers. You
Yeah.
get free 5-stars out the ass. Just as soon as you get up to the game, they give you 2 super powerful 5-stars for free. One was like you had the choice of the 4 brave house leaders, or well, Lysithea as well, but uh, you had a choice of 4 of those, or one of the 4 of those, and then one of the 4 of the brave, I believe, Fire Emblem characters from Echoes as well. Those guys carried me through most of the content anyway, and they give you all sorts of gems, and like, you know, since every story mission is like 1 gem, and they give you those 2 5-stars, you just blaze through it. So, but yes, the luck has not run out yet, which I'm hoping stays consistent, because, you know, I can only imagine the pain that some people go through, like you guys, where you save up all these gems for these banners, and you just get shafted on it. You know, just the curse of the gacha. This game does not escape from at all, as I've seen on the Twitter feed. But yes, I've drawn the ire of my fellow podcasters here because of my insane luck. So hopefully, I'm actually hoping for it to stop so that they won't be mad at me anymore. But regardless,
it's just like, how are you doing this? Like, teach me your ways of getting lucky like that.
I wish I could pass it on, but unfortunately, it's unknown to me as well. But I still have a long way to go in understanding the game, so I have been referring to you guys for advice constantly as I'm still kind of navigating my way through how the game works. So, have you guys talked about Fire Emblem Heroes before on your podcast? Like, have you had an episode dedicated to it before?
A couple of times, yeah. Well, I think one was there'll be like 2 episodes where we would like add it in as like a part 2, just so we could just talk about it because we're nerds like that for the game. But then I think we did have an episode where we pretty much like did focus on how much it improved, and it was like a major shift because I was thinking, okay, I think I'm gonna be giving up on this game soon. And then they added in all these features. I'm like, God damn, they brought me right back in. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the meta has changed quite a bit. Like, I remember back then, like, it was mainly, it was all about the visible buffs that you could see, like, before battle start. Like, that's all that mattered.
Yeah.
But these days, the meta is now about, like, the invisible buffs. Like, when combat starts up, that's when you see, like, what's actually going on. Because, what was that, the latest Mythic hero's name again?
Dogger?
Yeah, Dogger.
Yeah.
Like, I battled her before, and like I saw the buffs on her, I'm like, that feels illegal.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I didn't even know exactly how it worked. I just went into battles with her kind of off the bat since she was my first summon on the banner. But I just saw like plus 19 attack when I was like, oh no, this is too much power for me to wield.
Yeah, Ninja Lin pulled through though. Like she's like I told Mason like before like everyone was getting it, was gonna get her like her free copy. I told him like she's gonna be she's amazing. Like if for mainly player phase, she could like pretty much take out a whole damn map by herself if you decide to put Gale Force on her and have multiple dancers. Like that's it, you're done.
I was about to say, and that I think that's also kind of an indication of how the game has changed, right? Because that's a busted ass unit that they gave to everybody for free.
It is.
So again, just another way of helping new players as well. In case you guys haven't realized, this is probably the best time to hop in on this game if you are interested in it, because you're just gonna start flying through things, and maybe my luck will carry over to you guys if you guys start playing as well and get addicted like we have.
Honestly, guys, get to it.
I definitely didn't expect the quality of the game, to be honest. Like, it's obviously a gacha game, so some people are going to have gripes with that, as Kolby and I I think, have dedicated a bit of an episode to talking about that system. But it's probably it's the gacha game that feels the most like an actual video game to me. Like kind of like an actual RPG. It has a surprisingly good story and like deep mechanics to it. So, Kolby, actually, I wanted to get your opinion on something because you've had this game for much longer than me, haven't you?
It's been about a calendar year since I've been playing it continuously.
I was about to say, am I right in saying that you kind of like started coming back into it recently, like in more force than you had before, or had you always been kind of grinding away at it.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, when I got back into it, I was playing it for the fact of like, oh, this is a game that I'm invested in. I want to get all these good banner heroes. I pay attention to some of the story, but it was about the characters. I think it's about the character. If it's about the characters in any game, that's what draws you into it. Now, it's more so of a way for me to learn about Fire Emblem lore, just about the entire franchise, because there's a lot of cool characters outside Three Houses, much to my shock. and this is a way for me to learn about them, learn about their games as well, and maybe one day those games get ported to the Switch. I know a little bit about them and their backstories. I get to play them and enjoy them, all that good stuff. Now, granted, I still do hop on every day, get my gems, all that stuff. But it's so much. The game now is so rewarding for new players, and I feel like almost harder for older players because it's so hard to get gems. I've cleared every paralog and main story quest on normal and hard, and now I'm on lunatic, and I'm just, yeah, I get through some with these, but some I just get absolutely blitzed and nothing. I have no answers for, which I feel like can turn away players who have been playing for as long as myself and you guys have, aside from Tyler, just got back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm never gonna have 300, 400 gems at once ever again. I'll be lucky if I get to like 100, 150. Like, I have to really stock up and save, and it kind of sucks because you have to miss out on these banners because you have to spend most of your time getting these gems, and especially on Lunatic where it takes 11 stamina just to play one battle. You're not even guaranteed to win, so you can only do 9 battles at a time. So you're forced to play a lot less compared to someone who is a newcomer and can get all these cooler heroes. It's a give and take, and I still think the game is very good. It's just players who have been playing for a long time, I feel, are at a disadvantage these days.
I didn't have a problem about that.
Very well said.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's the free to play curse, you know, like just the absolute
grind
it is.
I will not spend a dime on this game. I refuse to do it.
I was about to say, the prices on this game, looking at the shop, are a little egregious, but you know, so I definitely do think free to play is the way to go if you guys are thinking about getting this game. But I got the starter pack because that is like the best deal I saw, and also got me a Brave Lyn, which is pretty sick. I did get that, but that's probably the extent. You know, my own way of supporting the game a little bit. But I don't know, man. Like I just avoid the shop tab like like a plague because it's just terrifying to look at. One, like that Forma Soul pack is $30.
Costs an arm and a leg for 10 gems.
Like that's half of a AAA title. That is in no way worth it.
It costs like four purchases of Among Us just to pull like 5 3-stars in a banner. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like right now with my free-to-play gems, just from starting the game, I have almost like $1,600, or not $1,600, $160 worth of gems, of free-to-play gems.
Well, we talked about this on
Sorry,
our show.
orbs. I keep calling it gems. The Pokemon Masters player.
I think I call it a gems too. It is orbs,
It's
but
okay.
It keeps screwing me up.
this is interesting. I want to get your guys' take on it because Tyler and I talked about it. As far as like the whole gacha mechanic, not just in Heroes but in all games, do you think there should be some sort of, if you invest money, you're guaranteed to get something good? Because all you're doing is gambling. You're not guaranteed anything good. You can get a 3-star, you can get a 5-star. It's all about risk and reward. You can spend $20 on the game, and that 5-star focus is still 3%.
It's interesting you brought that up because I feel the only reason people will like latch on to the idea that you're actually getting something good because you pay and you got lucky with getting a 5-star is mainly because that's just the mindset of a gambler, like, or someone who's slowly becoming a gambler because of a gacha game. Because you don't think about the times you lost your money and didn't get shit.
Exactly.
You're thinking about the times you actually won something.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of mindset that's gonna like screw you over time and time again. So personally, I think it's not the special summons are not something that's triggered by the money. I think it's just that you just got lucky during that moment and you just decided to latch onto that, which really you shouldn't. And just think about the negatives of, well, spending money on a digital item that may not be around forever.
Yeah. it's really not worth it to spend that much money on these games because it's going to be a net loss no matter what you do.
The only time you're guaranteed something good is when you pull 40 from the same banner. You're guaranteed a 5-star.
And that's not even every banner.
Yeah, that's not. That's, on this banner, that's not even in place.
Which sucks.
But, which sucks because there's so many good heroes in it that people could benefit from sparking for. But like, I feel like I don't know. That's a mechanic. This is getting into a deeper conversation about gacha games. I'm realizing we're kind of moving away from Fire Emblem Heroes, but
yeah, I feel like we're slandering it. It's still a really good game.
Oh no, it's a
really
good game, but like we like the game, so we want to point out its flaws. And this is also a flaw with like gacha games in general because they are. I feel like that argument that we're talking about, gacha games are trying to make it, I think the pity mechanic in a lot of games, like Genshin and what was it? Pokemon Masters with the scout points, and here with the 40 summons with the free 5-star thing. If you invest enough money into it, there's a slight guarantee of getting one good thing. And I feel like that's supposed to like justify everything. I feel like that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to be like, oh, hey, now that this guarantee is here, you can justify spending all your money because you're going to get at least one guaranteed thing. But in the end, it's still a major net loss for you if you're spending that much money to get just one thing. Because I've told Kolby this, and I just think it is so unfathomable. I don't know if you guys watch Genshin Impact content or anything.
I tried to watch.
Yeah, I was about to say I watched the content because I think it's interesting because this game is kind of breaking new territory in good and bad ways. And someone had like spent like over $1,000 and more on a single, not even a character, a weapon for a character. Like it's terrifying, the things that these gacha games are able to get away with, honestly. But as long as you're free to play, I think you're going to have a good time with this game. So maybe we should stop slandering it now, and I'll turn it over to Alejandro to maybe give us a new direction to talk about it, where we're not making fun of the gambling mechanics.
On that last note, yeah, I try to avoid the New Year deals, people. Avoid those.
Yeah.
Don't think they're good. $80 is not worth it, or $50, whatever the hell it is. But yeah, moving on from that, are there any units you guys look forward to being added one day to the game, or you're good? Like, if you're very fan.
Marth and Gatekeeper, I think, are great additions because it's been a while since Marth has the face of Fire Emblem, and rest in peace, got executed today publicly. It's very. I told Tyler this. I think the fan voting system is a genius idea, and I think the community. I told Tyler this as well. Like when a character gets their unit, they as a whole move on to somebody else, except for Lynn for some reason. They cannot get enough of Lynn.
Very true.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just like I feel like early on, like it was 3 houses push, and we'll get into 3 houses, I'm sure, later. Like those characters get better units. Okay, now let's move on to Marth. Okay, now let's move on to, I'm assuming next is Crom's the next big one, who they want to get a new unit. I can't say I'm really looking forward to anybody besides Marth. I'm kind of content. All I need to get left is this legendary Edelgard, and I'm kind of set because 3 Houses is the only game I have an emotional tie to. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, I'll still play and try to get these new units because, like I said earlier, like I just want to know more about the entire franchise as a whole. There's 17 games, and there's a lot of good characters spanning across all different types of games. So I would only save up just so I can find out more about them and what they come from. Tyler, I'm interested to hear your take because you're newer.
Right. Again, like Kolby, my only Fire Emblem game is 3 Houses, so I don't have a lot of attachment to any of the other characters, but this game is allowing me to kind of explore the lore a bit, even just learning what the games are called, because I know there's a lot of games I don't even know the titles of every game, but slowly but surely I think I'm starting to learn them and really like some of the characters that have been added. Again, I just said that I would be saving for the Brave banner, and that's when I'm going to just spend it all. I feel like I'm going to be finally free when that comes around because that's the banner I'm set on. I'm just going to put it all on the line, every single orb I have, and then I'm done. And then I'll probably be in the same situation you guys are in. So maybe then my luck. I'm hoping my luck will at least hold out till then. But as far as units I'm looking forward to, obviously, in the Brave banner you have Marianne, which I'm really interested to see what they're going to do because I assume they're going to give her relic.
In here.
Which is going to be really sick because she'll be a sword fighter, which is awesome.
Gang.
Will be a blue gang.
Blue gang.
I tried to in the first playthrough of Three Houses I didn't know what relics were. So when I'm just building my Marianne to be a full magic user, and then I get this sword for her. I'm like, she can't even use this effectively. Now what do I do?
It is a magic weapon though, right?
Yeah, somewhat. I think so.
I think it has like additional effects.
I think the power increases with her magic, so you're not entirely wrong by just making her a pure magic user.
That's true, but I don't think at the time I knew that. I'm like, this is a sword. I can't even freaking use this.
Yeah, same here.
And I can't give it to anyone else because they're just going to kill themselves by using it. But going back to Fire Emblem, I actually kind of am intrigued for more of the story units to become available later down the line, because like I said, I got really surprised by the quality of the story and the characters in the story, and it's nice. I looked around, social media a bit, and people really latch onto these characters in Heroes, which I was really surprised by. So, different. I already have legendary, Brave Veronica, which is already one of my favorite units.
I have her as well.
I think we have yet to get like normal Veronica and Bruno, right?
Yeah, we're still waiting on those.
I was about to say, and they just skipped over who was Freya's brother in book 3 or book.
I forgot his name. I didn't really. That's not my favorite story.
Yeah, that's not my favorite story. But I just realized they kind of skipped over that guy and went straight to, Dogger in book 5.
Mm-hmm.
Are we on book 4 or book 5? I keep forgetting.
5.
I think
5.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they skipped to book 5, but I saw some commotion about that. They just kind of skipped that guy, but I don't know. I want to get to know the story characters better too, because aside from Three Houses, they're probably now the characters I have most investment in, in a personal connection way. So I think like further alts for them. I know we already have a few alts for the Asker gang, but further seasonal alts for them would be great. And I think I do want to see like the normal house students get some alts as well. I know Lysithea is kind of like the only one who has an alternate form, right?
They just don't have 5 stars.
Yeah, I was about to say
you have to build them up there.
I'd like some 5 stars. Personally, I'd like to see Petra get an alternate form. I was about to say
Petra as well.
Yeah, because she's probably my favorite like house student outside of the house leaders in the game. So having her get an alt would be really cool. Wait, so those are the only units I'm thinking of.
You didn't summon her yet?
Petra?
I
have not summoned even her regular form yet, no.
Oh, snap. Okay, well, yeah, good luck with getting her.
Yeah, I've gotten like 3 Ferdinands, but no Petras.
Ferdy Boy comes around a lot.
Yeah, he's common.
He's one of my least favorite house characters, so
yes.
Hey, my luck has to be balanced. I'm not going to complain about what I get. I literally have no right to do that right now, so...
No, you don't.
Considering I just posted a tweet with 2 doggers in 1 summon circle, so... yeah. Anyway, that's my take on any new units that I would want.
Alright, good. Mason, how about you?
I believe I don't remember which game it is, but I remember this guy, Wallace.
Oh, Wallace, yeah.
I think he's in Lynn's game, but I'm probably super wrong, as I usually am.
Wallace. Isn't it Fire Emblem?
He's an armored guy.
Yeah, he's supposed to be blazing
blade.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
There you go.
Look, you get him, and then you immediately class him up in that game. And I don't know, I loved him. He's bald and he's brilliant.
I was about to say he looks like a big bald man. He looks very intimidating.
He's a buff Reese.
Oh, that's true. I forgot Reese.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I just thought of something, so I'll talk about it later.
He's the only one I'm hoping to eventually come to the game. Oh, and normal Felix, like a normal version of Felix.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because we have freaking Christmas Felix, right?
Blue Bow, yeah.
Yeah, I summoned him, and I summoned him early on with the Grails, because like, oh crap, a bow user, and it's Felix, and he complains about being in a Santa costume. This is great. And I didn't really have any dancers at the time, and he can only move one space. So I'm like, well, shit. Now he just doesn't do anything.
Got the Christmas curse.
Yeah, but anyway.
And then the other character, which is my favorite Three Houses character, is Balthus. I want him in the game.
Oh yeah, that's right. None of
Yuri,
the.
that reminds me. Yuri's a pretty popular fan poll selection.
Oh yeah, he was up there on the popularity poll.
He was sixth, I think. Yeah.
None of the Asher Knolls have made it in yet, so yeah, that'd be really cool to see them in.
I think it'll be a while before they get in.
Hopefully.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, because they're DLC.
That's true, but I mean,
we don't even
still
have
Three Houses.
We don't even have 5-star alts for the Asgard trio yet.
Well, yeah, that
outside of seasonal ones.
Yeah, seasonal ones really can't count because that's like once a year, and you're
and then you're done.
Shit out of luck for the time being, which sucks.
Right.
And you've got a 3% chance of getting them.
It's true.
I mean, what's good about this banner? It does have the 8%, which is somewhat better, but again, I've seen horror stories where it's just a complete lie, seemingly. So, spend your money wisely, everybody. I feel like that's the moral of this first half of the episode, is just be financially responsible.
Please.
Please, God. Anyway.
Anyone else, Mason, or you good?
No, that's it.
Right. I think I only got the majority of my favorites in the game. Three Houses, I already got Byleth, so I'm good. And then in the summer Byleth was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I got two of my favorites now. But for I forgot which game he was from. I think he was in Fire Blazing Blade. Is Lowen, the guy with the very messy hair? He's like a Lancer. Cavalry. And I was thinking, like, I don't know what it is with me, like, rooting for the guys that really don't have that much impact in the story at all. I was thinking, like, no, I want this guy to be in the game. Like, he seems cool.
Everyone loves the side characters.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Other than him, there's really nobody else that I really hope to come into the game at this point. Unless, other than just better ults for the Asgard trio, because, yeah, like, as Kolby mentioned, they're just seasonal at the current being. Other than Veronica, which technically she's a Grail unit, so easier you want to build out, but she's not part of the Asgard trio.
No.
Right.
Yeah, before I finish though, Kolby, you're right. Blood Gang does focus on the magic attack, so you're correct with that.
I guess we can finish out Heroes with this. Do you think that maybe one day they can make like a base Fire Emblem game with the cast of characters from Asgard?
I would love that. I was thinking about that so much, and I thought like they could do so much with that kind of game. Like they could go on like different maps reminiscent of other Fire Emblem games. That's how personally I would do it.
Yeah, like Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah.
Pretty much like a DLC.
That could be a cool thing. Like if they do make a Fire Emblem Warriors sequel, which I think they should, because
they should.
Warriors is a good series, and it seems like there's going to be a lot of other Warriors-esque Nintendo games down the line. I think having a sequel to Fire Emblem Heroes, I guess it would kind of be a sequel to Fire Emblem Heroes if we're talking about adding like the Ascar and Embla and other original characters in there as well.
I think that'd be a great way to incorporate them in a Warriors style, because we just saw with Age of Calamity, you can build a story within a Warriors game, and with all the chapters, you can make that like DLC if you want to, or just base game stuff. I think there's a lot of possibilities there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good talk about. I was thinking, damn, I should like really try out the Warriors games again someday, because I only played Fire Emblem Warriors, and I had a bunch of fun with it. I get why people complain about the like more Awakening units than anything else, but I still had a lot of fun with it.
Awakening did save the series.
I was about to say Awakening was the big head honcho at that time, Like Three
Yeah.
Houses wasn't even out by then, so
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I was thinking, well, makes sense that Awakening was like a bit more of the focus at the time being.
yeah.
Yeah, rightfully deserved.
And now that Fire Emblem's getting like, more attention, thanks to Awakening, like it came a long way from what I've seen. So I feel like they should be a bit more confident in themselves in doing another Warriors game for Fire Emblem.
Right.
I feel like Fire Emblem is the most popular it's ever been right now. It has a lot of good things going for it. Obviously, it has Three Houses, which is, I think, 4 million units have been sold of that, the highest selling Fire Emblem game ever. Coming off of Fates, which I think was also sold very, very well. It has come a long way, and Smash Brothers definitely has something to do with that. Like, positive or negative, attention is attention, and the series seems to be capitalizing off of it.
You're not wrong about that. Mason, got anything to say? Like,
Nah.
No, I do not.
Okay then. All right then. Well, other than that, so since we're moving on from the Fire Emblem Heroes aspect, what are your favorite units overall from the series?
Kolby, you can take the wheel on this one.
I've only played Three Houses, as previously stated. I have over, oh god, I think a month of my life I think has been dedicated to playing Three Houses. I'm not even kidding. It's been I've played a lot of it. Tyler?
His favorite unit is probably Dimitri.
No, it's not.
What? Damn it.
No.
I thought I had the $1 million guess right there.
Barbarossa Claw just hits different. The White Wyvern,
Of course.
it's insanity. Every unit that I'm familiar with is from Three Houses. I think the beauty about that game is there's so much, and with all Fire Emblem games in general, there's so much flexibility in between each character. Like you can give relics to other characters, and are still compatible. And by that I mean you can take Thyrsis straight off of Lawrence, give it right to Lysithea, just make her a walking nuclear power plant.
Of course.
Jeez, crazy.
Literally
Amazing.
insane.
I like Felix too. He's really boring, but I just like the fact that he's a hard ass and all he cares about is like being the best, soldier, knight, whatever you want to call him.
Mhm.
I think his paralogs are great. His conversations are great. Petra, just because Petra's awesome. Not much more to say there. She's fast and assassin, has a lot of flexibility, and I think I voted Mercedes as the best girl in Fire Emblem Three Houses. I think she's by far and away the best healer. She is great. She's great connections with Eureka, the Death Knight. You can recruit abilities off the charts with her. I just think that she's a great magic user in general. So those are some of my favorites. Again, exclusively Three Houses, but is the only game that I have. It's the only game I have my PhD in.
Of course. I guess I'll go if we're going around the circle again.
Go for
I
it.
think we already started a circle.
So this is favorite units like in any Fire Emblem game that we've played, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I was waiting for confirmation there. My bad.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Again, Three Houses, but I mean, far and away, I think Petra is my favorite unit out of Three Houses. Not Heroes, but still, I just can't get over the fact that one playthrough I made her my dancer, wielding a sword, and in my next playthrough I put her on a wyvern with Thunderbrand, and it was just a completely different playstyle, and it was super fun, and she's just so fast, so she just gets 4 strikes on like everything, and I don't know, it was just really cool to experiment. Like she was the one unit that I decided to take like a few risks with to like kind of branch out and make her different in my subsequent playthroughs. And then and then Heroes, since I'll do one for Houses and one for Heroes, since I've only played 2 games. Dogger has quickly risen the ranks to become probably the favorite unit I have in my arsenal, just because of how she can just move units insane distances if you pair her up right with dancers and such. And the fact that she literally turns debuffs into buffs and gets double-digit attack buffs every single turn. So those are my favorite units. Hopefully, seeing as how I'm now a lifelong Fire Emblem fan at this point, hopefully there will be more in the future when more Fire Emblem games come out.
Alright. Mason. I think I don't know your favorites, but like tell everyone
Hell yeah.
30 favorites.
So, branching out from Three Houses, my favorite character in both of Heroes and just in general is Navarre. Just there's just something about him. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't talk very much. When he does, it's like very little, and it's usually demeaning.
I see.
He's just like, get out of my way, or you're wasting my time. He's just a badass, especially in Heroes. Like, I've made him a damn G.
Dear Lord.
Oh God! If it makes Alejandro scared, then damn, I should be shaken too.
I'm like, not scared, but like I respect the hell out of his unit enough to know that if Olivia was like any lesser of the build I gave her, I know she won't survive at all. But
oh dear.
Go on.
And we're going into Three Houses territory, which is the only other game I've majorly played except for Mystery of the Emblem, was Felix. I just love mercenary characters. I don't know. Just Felix, and then we're talking about our favorite females. Shamir is mine.
I love her too.
That is not a bad pick.
She's insane. I love how just deadly she is. She'll double a lot. She'll crit a lot. She's a badass.
She's just good.
And that's off with the mercenary type characters. My style, I guess.
I'll never get how you guys like Felix, but I'm not gonna slander your picks here.
Listen, Aegis and Sword of Maralta, it's a rat.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten the Sword of Maralta because I never wanted anything to do with Felix, so I never got it.
Yeah.
Three Houses is weird because like so much of the things you want, like story wise and gameplay wise, you have to go out of your way to find. You literally have to go talk to Edelgard in Chapter 11 to even get the option to side with her once the war comes. And you have to like talk.
You just like that?
You just like that? Yeah.
How you gotta like kind of work to go with her side instead of like it should be the other way around. So like work to go to the church route. But my bad. Go on.
I don't know. It's the only times where that screen pops up where it's like this decision drastically impacts the story. Like they don't give you enough of those choices in that game, and it's again very small gripes. I think Three Houses is an amazing game. I have it rated in the 90s. It's just stuff like that kind of like is like, oh, this doesn't really make sense, but. You find that's why you multiple playthroughs. That's why you multiple routes. You get to experience all of it eventually. Mm-hmm. Tyler doesn't even know what I'm talking about because he hasn't even played Black Eagles.
I've never finished Black Eagles route yet. Like 270 hours in, I've never finished Black Eagles.
You better.
I'll say it's the hardest route out of all of them.
I'm halfway through
shortest and hardest
right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm right before the time skip at the moment, but I don't know. Like I just was like. Black Eagles is my least favorite house. Like if it didn't have Petra, like I recruit Petra out of that house in every other playthrough because she's the only one I really like.
The characters aren't great, but the story is it's so good.
Yeah, I mean I've watched the story. I know what happens, and I've educated myself on the antagonist of the church. But I don't know, man. It's just after I play Golden Deer and Blue Lions first. And then I get to Black Eagles. I'm like, man, this ain't as good.
I understand.
This isn't as good.
I understand that. I understand that because I think it doesn't even feel right saying this, but I think Edelgard's like the least interesting of the three, and she's a really good character. I just find her to be the least interesting.
I think her character is good, just from a writing standpoint. I think. Because I'm sure there have been essays talking about, her view versus the church view, and I think she makes compelling arguments about it. I have had arguments with my girlfriend about if Edelgard is a good character or not. Like we'll just be driving our car and we'll be just, we're just trying to. I'm trying to tell her like, okay, yeah, I don't like her personally, but I think she's a good character. But yeah, I think that makes the character good because she provides some compelling discourse. Even among fans. Being Fire Emblem fans, however, sometimes it gets a little heated. But Yeah, it's like I feel like Nintendo has a lot of those series where the biggest haters of the series are fans of the series. I feel like Pokemon can be said for that. Smash and Fire Emblem all kind of go into that. I think Mario's immune from hate at this point. I think he's kind of arisen. I mean, he
He's
is dead.
dead.
He's dead now. So I'm not sure what.
We're only gonna remember the good.
We'll only remember the good of Mario, a la not 3D All Stars.
No.
But anyway, man, I'm just the tangent king today. I'm going off topic at every single opportunity. I'll turn it back over to you. That's everything.
We went from favorite units in any game to an Edelgard deep dive.
To Mario die.
To Mario dying.
All right, I'll let you take it from here.
I'm the opposite. I actually played Black Eagles first.
I did too.
And liked it the most out of all of them. I don't like Golden Deer at all. I don't like Claude.
What?
I don't like Claude at all.
Damn.
Claude's motivation is a little weird. Like after I've looked at it a bit,
I can agree with that.
It's kind of hard to understand like what he really wants after like reviewing the story a little bit.
I think that's supposed to be part of the character though.
Yeah, I mean he's a schemer. He's kind of like oh, what am I gonna do? But I don't know. Like looking back, like he's charming, but like I'm just following him because he's a cool guy in general, not because I really know what he wants. I guess
I think he's a great leader, and he leads that house, like that territory, like obviously the best because his character's built to it. But I saw something interesting. Like Yuri is the character they want you to think Claude is, because Yuri's a lot more cutthroat, and they big Claude out to think he's like cutthroat and like they're both like schemers. There's that one little conversation they have in Abyss where they're like talking back and forth like, oh, we're gonna get along. But
yeah,
Yuri is way more cutthroat and much more of a my way or the highway guy, whereas Claude I think is much more like passionate. He obviously cares about people a lot more. But yeah, I guess thinking about it, like winning, like why wouldn't he just leave in the first place? Like you can just go take the throne in Elmira and just wage war on Fodlan and win that anyway. There's a lot of ways to do that.
Yeah. I mean, my girlfriend also doesn't like him because as soon as like you romance him, he ditches your ass and goes to Elmira. Like he just leaves you alone in Fodlan. She's like, what the, like she was devastated at this.
But I also think all this about him gives him the best chance. Like if we're ever gonna go back to that, like land Fodlan Elmira, like he's the best chance for a sequel.
I think so as well. Because Dimitri kind of like accumulates everything into Fargus,
and then literally dies. Like that tells you he dies.
And then Edelgard obviously is the pseudo villain.
Unless Edelgard wants to take over the whole continent.
I was about to say unless Edelgard takes over, that'd be pretty sick. But yeah, what do you? Because Kolby and I have actually had some conversations about this, and if we're gonna go on another tangent, it might as well be me that brings it up. What do you guys think about a possible Three Houses sequel? Like, I think that would be a first in Fire Emblem, right? To have a direct sequel to
No.
Oh, wait, no, that's wrong.
Path of Radiance and...
Oh, yeah, that's actually wrong, because I know... Sorry, there are a few, because I know, like, there are a few characters that are successors to other characters in the timeline. Never mind, that's a lie. What do you guys think about a Fire Emblem Three Houses sequel in general?
I just don't know where they go.
It depends on how they do it. That's when I would love to see a sequel, but it depends on how they would do it is what I'm just going to be, like, a bit hesitant on.
Yeah, I agree. Just the multiple paths, like, I think that's a little too... Personally, I do think that's a little too risky for a sequel, because if you choose one path, you're going to make a lot of people angry who chose the other paths in their playthroughs.
Unless they decide to do... Unless Nintendo decides to be just be a bunch of goofballs and make it a freaking spin-off for the Gatekeeper and his adventures, then
oh, dude,
I would definitely love that.
I talked about a prequel.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yes, we have talked about that with the conflict.
Like Hilda's brother and all that.
With Gerald, Hilda's brother. You kind of get that with the DLC, but much more like expanded on.
Yeah, it's a bit. I mean, I reckon they could even go farther back, like with the arrival of the goddess, Sothis, and you have those who said they're in the dark, the Agarthans versus the Agarthans versus the. They have a name. I don't remember what they are. The followers of the goddess versus the Agarthans. I think that would be cool, but I think Nintendo is I think we're gonna get a brand new Fire Emblem game as the next big Fire Emblem thing that comes out for the Switch.
Yeah, we don't even know what it is.
Yeah, because I assume
been 2 years.
there will be another Fire Emblem on the Switch. At least I hope so, with the success of Three Houses. But yeah, I mean, Three Houses turned me into an absolute rabid fan. So now I just cannot wait for the next thing to come out. So I just figured I'd ask you guys about that, since I know a lot of other people are probably thinking about, with Fire Emblem Three Houses probably being a lot of people's first Fire Emblem games. They might, entertain the idea of a sequel. So I thought I'd let you guys talk about that.
Again, I'm just hesitant, but I would love it. But if it is more like a prequel, then here's an interesting kind of prequel that I know Mason will love, because he's been wanting this kind of Fire Emblem game for a while. But like where you're like the villain and it's all about Nemesis, how he takes out all this, like his journey.
Right.
I would love to see something like that.
I was about to say a Nemesis backstory would be really cool, because I assume he was like a regular dude at one point, right?
He was. They said he was a regular person before.
It was like Anakin. He got turned to the dark side.
And it was kind of cool how he had like the split legacy. Like he was like King of Liberation, but also like, what was it, like King of Thieves or something?
Yeah.
As well. It's cool that his like legacy split. That would be cool, seeing Nemesis kind of, what he was up to before those who slithered in the dark got to him. He became a mercenary.
My only reasoning against it, and it's because he only is relevant in one route. You only ever fight against him. You only ever really learn against him in Golden Deer, which makes no sense. It should be in Black Eagles. You go fight Nemesis. And
I feel like
stuff.
Black Eagles is cut short because, they still need to go and kill. They still need to go and kill those that are in the dark.
I don't think they did that for Blue Lions either.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not the end bad guy every single route.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's cool that they don't have the same bad guy for every route or the same sort of thing. But I do still think like every route should have like, okay, we're going to go clean up. You're going to play the section of them cleaning up those that are in the dark.
Yeah. I feel like every route's different enough because, okay, so the final battle in Black Eagles is you kill Rhea. If you go straight to fight the Agarthians, that works. You kill Edelgard and Hegemon, is that how you say it? Like Edelgard, like when she transforms herself into like a demon.
I was about to say, you kill Edelgard powered up by those who slid in the dark.
Yeah, and even in the battle, like those who slid in the dark, they retreat if you kill like their elite guy. So maybe you pursue them, and that's how Blue Lions ends. Golden Deer, I think, wraps up perfectly. A big reason why it's my favorite route. I think it's fine. What do you think of Claude literally leaving 4 seconds later? Whatever. And I don't even know what to say about. I don't even know what to say about the church.
Wow. Church.
I don't even know what to say about the church route. It has so much potential, but it just falls short.
Yeah.
Because I actually like Seth as a character.
Seth and Flame were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like them a lot, but they just cannot carry like the story like the house leaders can.
I also wish that instead of the Black Eagle students coming back, that you just got to play with the Knights of Saros. I thought that would have been awesome. And that's just your fourth.
That's just what you have.
Yeah.
Should have done that.
That would be cool. Because you have enough, right? You got Shamir and
no.
And
you have to
Catherine.
if you choose the church route, you have to manually recruit the Knights of Saros, or they won't be there. Only Seth and Flame will.
Yeah, I do remember that. I was just thinking about like, would you have a strong enough force if that was all you had? Because you have Manuela and Hanneman, Seth and Flame, Violet, obviously,
Shamir, Catherine, Gilbert.
Yeah, Gilbert.
Alois.
You have 9. Yeah, you have 9 right now.
Yeah, you have a lot.
And then,
I didn't realize that there were that many.
And since it's Black Eagles, give like a chance to recruit them after you beat them, like how you do some characters.
Like how you doing?
That's something
Golden Deer or not Black Eagles? Yeah,
that's something that I thought there would be more of. Like you can recruit characters after you battle them, but to my knowledge, it's only like 2. It's like Lysithea and Lorenz, but that's it, right?
Yeah, and then you can spare Claude instead of killing him, but you can't recruit him. That would have been something if you could recruit Claude and Black Eagles.
That would be wild. He does give you his bow, which kills you if you use it. So I don't. That's some gift, Claude.
He only gives you
Byleth can use it.
Lion.
Huh?
I think Byleth can use every hero relic.
Yeah, Byleth can use every relic, and he only gives you that in Blue Lions.
Byleth can?
Yeah.
I think Byleth's compatible with every relic.
I never knew that. I thought Smash was just exaggerating that.
No.
Which would make no sense because Edelgard is the same crest that he does or she does. So shouldn't she be compatible with every relic too? I don't know.
Oop.
Maybe it's because he
Pop
like
right there.
legitimately has that
it's
like
the
goddess
heart.
part of
Yeah,
it.
the heart of Saros.
Sothis is probably like, yeah, I got you. Huh.
I don't know. Three Houses is just it's so interesting because
It is.
they did the same thing with Fates where you have the 3 paths, but you need to buy like each of the paths. Like, good God, that's a horrible idea.
Yeah, wasn't it? I actually already forget like what
I don't even know the name of what the name of the paths
what
are.
it all
But
was. Anyway.
Three Houses is
Birthright, Conquest, and I don't remember that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because you had Birthright and Conquest, and then those are like the non-canon ones, and then you have a third separate one,
which is
the canon one, which is this doesn't make sense.
Well, that's a good question. What's the most canon path in Three Houses?
I mean, I feel like that kind of goes into the sequel talk, right? Like, whichever one is most canon.
Well, I don't think there's a definitive answer.
I guess not, because there are a lot of story arcs in every single route that are left unfinished.
If they did what we just said and made the church the Knights of Saros, and that's obviously the canon route, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's interesting. It'd be a great anime.
Where literally almost everyone dies.
It's rough, man. It's rough.
I don't know. I argue that Golden Deer is the most canon route because it really wraps up the story the best, I think. The main story. You know, you tie up the Agarthans and the war with Edelgard all in one nice little bow, and I feel like those are the two main big plot points that needed to be addressed, and Golden Deer does it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking for the route where nearly the most units live, I think that would be Blue Lines. But for me,
sure.
Yeah.
But for like the tying up the story kind of thing, it would be Golden Deer. But yeah, I find it crazy that the Blue Lions one was the one where you could save like the most units because that's like kill every last one of them.
Yeah.
Blue Lions is by far the best story. It's not even close.
I think that's true. Like the best character story, I think, is Blue Lions.
It's all about Dimitri, but it's just that good.
Yeah, it's all about Dimitri, and to a lesser extent, like, Dedue and the Tragedy of Dusker, and Ingrid is in there too, and Felix and Sylvain. That it's just such a tight knit group that the Blue Lions, like, they all have known each other for their almost entire lives. So
it makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes for a very intimate story when you finally get to the end of it. Wow, I learned a lot about Three Houses today, and it's supposed to be one of my favorite games of all time, and I didn't even know this stuff.
Black Eagles.
Okay, I'll finish Black Eagles after I finish Monster Hunter.
The final 2 battles are hell on earth, but it's worth it.
I've heard. Don't worry.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
And then you gotta watch like the 8-hour documentary that Phoenix Master made about Three Houses. No, I'm just kidding. It's not 8 hours, no, but
oh no, that
there's
sounds
like a lot
great.
of essays that he made, or
I think
either him or someone else that really goes into the lore. You want to like keep learning more, and I'm just thinking like
that might be my next project. With over 600 hours played, I might make a documentary.
Wow, that would be interesting. That could be our first step into the YouTube.
I'm gonna write my thesis on the lore of Three Houses.
Your college thesis is gonna be your lore of Three Houses.
Why is this 1,000 pages? Trust me, it all makes sense.
Trust me, it'll all make sense in the end after a few days of reading.
So what's everyone's favorite route?
Oh,
Black
favorite
Eagles.
route.
That was a pretty quick Black Eagles.
oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
Golden Deer, Tyler.
it's so hard between
Is it?
Golden Deer and Blue Lions, but I'm gonna say Golden Deer.
As am I.
Damn.
I'm sorry, man. It was my first route, so I have that nostalgia, and also it was just damn good. You got God-shattering star. The music in the
hell yeah.
I think the music is a huge part of the quality of the routes.
Oh, I'm glad you brought the music. 'Cause that reminded me of my next question. Like, what's everyone's favorite individual battle?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we did like a little tier list way back when.
Episode 3, I think we.
Yeah, we did a tier list.
80
not necessarily
episodes ago.
a ranking of our favorite like individual battles in that game.
Oh, I just know that the battle where Between Heaven and Earth started playing.
Oh my god.
I
Oh,
love that
the
song.
War at Gronder.
Oh yeah, of War at Gronder.
That soundtrack. Oh my god, it's so.
Dear
It's
Lord, amazing.
It's great, man. It's on another level. Like it's
Yeah,
amazing.
when I heard Between Heaven and Earth, I started like toe tapping in my room, like, oh my god, we're gonna slaughter these people.
Oh my god! So I was about to say it's real now, and it just every song in the game is. We talked about this. This was a joke between us. What's the
Banger
main
Central?
called? What's the main theme called again?
Oh yeah, it's Edge of Dawn.
Oh, yeah, every song it has Edge of Dawn in it somewhere is our joke.
The last
But,
song is literally just an Edge of Dawn remix.
Apex of the World.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, my good.
I don't know. I think the War of Gronder would probably be my favorite battle, personally, because
It's mine too, but one that's really grown on me is when Edelgard first infiltrates the monastery and you have to defend it, or you fight with her. That's one that's really kind of grown on me throughout time.
right, because that was actually really cool because
Roar of Dominion. Oh my god.
you and I didn't really understand how much the story diverged. But then, like, you told me about how you were attacking the church, and I was in Golden Deer, and I was like, oh, I just did a battle where I'm defending the church. Oh, you're on completely opposite sides in that battle, depending on what route you do. So I thought that was pretty cool.
How about you, Mason?
I don't really have one. I don't pay much attention to music and stuff. I'm usually listening to Spotify when I play games.
Hey,
What?
that's fair. That's fair.
Oh,
Hey, we have our taste. I will say, since you're a Black Eagles fan, like the Tail Team Plains, that's tough to top.
I don't.
he's like, I don't
It's
know.
been so long since I've even played Three Houses. I don't know.
That's true. I'm having a hard time recalling everything as well.
There's just like so much gameplay. Like, what is
Yeah.
it?
I think
go ahead. Black Eagles battle where it's when you spoiler alert, I guess, if you when you go to kill Dimitri.
That's the Tail Team Plains, yeah.
Yeah, it's Tail Team Plains.
You fight Sylvain, Dedu, Mercedes, and Dimitri, and then
Saros.
Rhea comes in. If you don't complete it in a
Saros,
certain amount of
that's
time,
right.
Saros comes in and just absolutely beats the fuck out of you if you don't. If you
I
just
hate
run right
them.
to her.
She comes in real quick. I always put my guys over there like in
Oh, yeah.
preparation for her to come in, and then just quickly take her out, and then all of her forces retreat.
Yeah.
I do like
Good
the
strat. Good strat.
I do like the tower battle as well. When you fight Sylvain's brother.
We
for the
learn
first
about the
time.
relics.
Yeah.
Yeah, when your first demonic beast encounter, I thought that was cool. That's where you first learn about like how enemies can appear like at random points in the map.
Yeah.
You can just spawn in new enemies. And the one, since I have such a poor memory, the battles I like are usually just the ones I remember doing. And the one that I was remembered, this is a DLC battle actually. It was when you're underneath the monastery bridge, and this is when you first get the chalice.
And emo Constance.
Yeah, and emo Constance, and you are bombarded by like the golems.
Oh
That
god.
battle sucks. That's so hard.
It was hard, but like I liked it because it really, I liked it because it was challenging, and that I had a really surprising tank in Linhart because it was magic damage, and I just kept him far away from my other units so that they all just kept trying to pummel him with light spears, and Linhart was just totally fine. But I think I also... I don't remember. Do you only have to turn off like the one generator?
Yeah, just one switch.
Okay, because I did... I chose the other two wrong ones.
That was why I did it first,
before I got to the right one. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, and Edelgard's like in the battle. He goes like, "Claw, something you do." He's like, "Damn right."
But yeah. Anyway, it has been a while since now you guys are getting me hyped up to play Three Houses again. So
Makes me want to play it again. Yeah.
It's such a good game. I'd argue now it's the most important game in Fire Emblem history.
I'd say so. I'd say that's fair enough. Right up there by Awakening as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I got asked though because I forgot I didn't put in my favorite units, but I want to like ask you guys quickly. Were you guys able to try out the Shadow Dragon Blade of Light emulated game on the Switch or no?
No, I
unfortunately.
thought about picking it up, but I had more pressing matters at the moment.
I understand that. All right, got you.
Ty's been preparing for Monster Hunter for years.
That is admittedly very true. But
So what are your favorite units, Alejandro? Like in
Yeah.
Fire Emblem as a whole?
Fine. Overall, of course, it's gonna be Elwood from Blazing Blade. I choose him like over Lynn and Hector.
I got him early on. He's a beast.
yeah.
And I'll say from my playthrough in Shadow Dragon Blade of Light, definitely Marv. Like, once you like max him out, that boy can take on like nearly everybody. And if you got like a good healer to like back him up and make sure that the healer doesn't die while he's battling, he can take on nearly everybody by himself if you give him like some crazy defense boosting stuff. Because I gotta remember in the very first Fire Emblem game, there was no weapon wheel, so it's all about just having the better weapon in general. So he definitely was one of my favorites. George, the one that starts with a J, he was also he's like a great sniper in that game as well. Like, my goodness, like he could take on the other snipers while like barely get on with just some health. But I still that's pretty badass just to see this guy taking on those kind of units by himself at times. For Three Houses, why they make such a good game where they have all the characters nearly being so good?
I mean, that's
I'm
the
not
first
sure.
game where you can make every character every class, right? Am I right
Yeah.
in saying that? Okay,
Yeah.
I figured.
I think, yeah. So that's why it's like harder to say because if everyone like had their bit niches, it would be easier to say. But first of all, I know that Marianne's like one of my favorites because
Oh,
Yeah, great character.
I think I kind of like resonated with like how she was feeling. Like, I'm not sure you guys like know her supports,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do.
especially with Byleth, like how she it's just like it's like a bit of a personal story that I can relate with because like how she wished for like the goddess to like take her away, but then like realized her worth and like realized she has friends and doesn't want to look back to the past anymore. She want to look to the future. Like, I was like, damn, that's freaking good writing right there.
Oh yeah.
And for the others, I guess I'll start saying general stuff just to make it easier and not take it too much time. But for Raphael, I think
Yes.
not even cared about his
Bro.
growth.
Yes.
Because he shows that I know that everyone will say like, oh, he's a lot, like, oh, he doesn't really do much. Like, I can
Correct.
see that part of his character, but at the same time, I see that he's also mature. Well, and his little bits here and there, like how he's telling Egnos like you gotta like move on from that. You can't just keep sticking to the past. And I was thinking like,
Quit being a little bitch.
Like-
Yeah, essentially tough love. But
yeah, like I was thinking like, huh, I don't usually see that version of him that much, and I think I just appreciate like how he sees the other side of things from time to time, and if most people will be thinking that he's just being stubborn, or maybe they're the ones being stubborn, and I don't know, it's just like a little interesting thing to like point out about him. Oh man, there's still so many characters.
I like how the rest of us talked about how well each unit could absolutely just murder everything on the battlefield, and Alejandro's like, man, I really like this. I actually really like the character as a character.
Sorry, guys.
It makes us sound like heartless monsters.
no, that's just a testament to the writing of the game because every character
character is
you can relate to. There's no one character you can't relate to. Like everyone in some capacity can relate to some character in that game, and that's just why it resonates with me and many others, I'm assuming.
Thank God you love Raphael because Kolby and I have been head to head on that.
I just saw that right now. I was thinking like, oh, this is gonna be
Raphael is carried by the War Monk DLC. Without that, he is absolutely
Dude, no
benched.
way. He's so strong, dude.
Nope.
He was
Sorry.
as strong as my Byleth on my first playthrough. So good.
Because you went out of your way to do that.
I really didn't.
Oh shit.
I really did not do what you are saying.
But I'm
At all.
accusing you of.
Yeah, these accusations are wrong. He's just so strong. Anyway,
Well, in his perspective,
and his character, and of course his character is good as well.
Yeah.
But he can also kill people really well.
Oh man. No, I can't say Claude. Ironically, like at first I thought
Why?
my favorite.
Whoa!
I can't say Claude because at the same time I just feel like I can't know more of his character enough. But I do admire the relationship between him and Violet because he shows that they're a little more. Okay, that's I'm pretty much saying a favorite explanation now. Anyways,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
pretty much like doing like a little. He's showing that more of a vulnerable side to him, and saying like, "Hey, I know I could be doing this kind of thing, but I feel like I can't do it without you being there." Like you don't see that kind of trust when you don't see him being that trustful with like the other characters. Like he's always gonna be showing that little bit of a front
Mm-hmm.
until like later on down the support line. But with Byleth, like it's straight up, hey, I trust you and I just want you to be around. Especially like and even during I think in all three routes during the dance party scene, he would still pick out Byleth to
Yeah.
dance with him.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
The
like,
anime cutscene. Yep.
yeah, that's pretty sweet. I noticed.
I wish they had more of that in that game. Those cutscenes are so
Those
good.
cutscenes are beautiful, dude. They're so good.
I know what people are talking about. I love those. I don't know why.
They're so good.
Yeah.
The only one that kind of rubs me the wrong way is that I think Golden Deer and Church have the exact same final cutscene, whereas the Golden Deer doesn't really fit the mantra of the story. But regardless, that's not points off or anything. They're just still so good.
Also, I'm sorry, I completely forgot about how crazy it is that we have like intercontinental ballistic missiles in Fire Emblem. Like that's one of my favorite cutscenes where you just see a freaking nuclear warhead flying through the sky and just decimating a medieval castle. Like
ISIS just
the javelins of light and the and then you go into the Agarthan city and it's just dubstep blasting in your ear with all these modern cubic like lights and stuff going everywhere with electric generators and like where are we right now? What happened?
That scene. I want to get into that more because I actually spoke with Mason. I believe it was Mason and some other people before about that kind of thing. But for the last, that was just my. I think it was just my favorite. Just I guess them being reliable. If I want to be going down to that level at least, was just Ignat. I find it funny that's Golden Deer mainly, but I don't know. I just find it cool that he's like trying to become his own person, but he needs the help of his friends to like become his own person.
Yeah.
Because I understand like because there are gonna be moments where I could be relating to that as well. Like I feel like I gotta be doing this too because I believe it's best for my family, but then like I gotta get like a talk to from time to time to realize that I gotta be my own person and do my own like I gotta have my own destiny to deal with. And seeing that with him was also pretty cool. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think another reason that the connections in Fire and the dialogue is so good is because I don't know if this is like it with other games. Maybe you can clarify, but in Three Houses, it's like every person has like a connection to someone else in some way, whether familial or no. Like Mercedes is the secret sister of the Death Knight. Sylvain's brother is one of the first villains that you fight in the game, and then you kill, and he turns into a demonic beast. Caspar and Linhart are lifelong friends. Bernadetta and Yuri met when they were really young, and they never realized until Yuri probably knew, but Bernadetta had no idea. Edelgard and Dimitri are step siblings. Yes, I believe that's
Dimitri and Claude in the lore are distant cousins.
What?
What?
Yeah, because his house Regan broke off from Blathid, so they're distant cousins in the lore.
Oh, that's right.
Like in the deep confines of the lore, they're distant cousins.
That's right. I mean, yeah, there's that too. There's the there's the really old church people who are related to these big beasts that you fight in some of the paralog missions. People have secret identities. People have you have Hilda and her brother who we never see for some reason, and then Hilda and Balthus who have a relation. Like everyone has like some historical like past relationship with at least a few other characters before we get to them, and I feel like that makes them more like complex and deep, and they have like more dimensions to them as you get to know them because of other characters bouncing off of them, and I think that was a good design decision.
You didn't even mention Ingrid, Sylvain, and Felix. That's the one I feel like they harp on the most.
Oh, that's true. I mean, that's just the amigos right there.
the three pals.
Well, I mean, Dimitri's in there too, so
Is he?
Kinda, yeah.
Is he?
He's
too busy having a bowl cut in the castle. I feel like he's on his own little path.
He's too busy being the board prince.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason I hate Felix is that he won't shut up about calling him the boar prince.
I like it. I like that he's a prick to Dimitri. Someone's gotta.
He's a prick to everyone.
It's true. It's true.
I could go on for another hour talking about how I don't like Felix, but we're already at the almost an hour and a half mark, so
good. Let's keep going.
Again, I've sidetracked this conversation so much that I should probably let Alejandro take control back of his own podcast.
It's all good. But now moving on to that topic that you kind of maybe thought about was, do you guys? How do I say this? Explain to them the right way. Okay, because I seen some theories, and I was thinking, okay, maybe there's something that, not like totally out there, but one that kind of made slightly more sense to me was Rhea's whole dominion over, what was it, Fodlan in general?
Yes.
Fodlan?
Okay,
Yeah.
Fodlan. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember, because so many locations, so many names.
Yes.
Her whole dominion over the place, like, okay, we can't, like, some part of me is thinking maybe she didn't want, like, Fodlan to have, like, outside world contact that much, and partially maybe the reason why they're still like using swords, axes, and bows and such, while we see missiles being used in the freaking Fire Emblem game. I'm just thinking maybe the outside world is more advanced than what's going on in Fodlan, and they're just not aware of it yet. But now that at the end, I think depending on who it is, or it doesn't matter, Fodlan will be more open to outside contact now. Mm-hmm. And it could probably open up new technology to them. If I don't know, I just want to like hear what you guys think like about that kind of theory.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Bridget and what's Shamir's homeland again?
Dagdar.
I was gonna say Dagger. I'm too focused on Heroes right now. But we know Bridget is seemingly on the same level of advancement as Fodlan is, and I guess it's technically like an outside force, more of like a satellite state maybe.
I think they call it like an individual colony.
Yeah, but they're kind of like they have their influence over it recently because I think Petra just recently got to the school because she's technically like a political hostage almost.
Essentially.
And then you have Dagdar, which is even further to the west of Bridget, and they lost a war against seemingly I think it was like Fodlan or Bridget, so I feel like they're on also the same level of technology as well. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if technology is necessarily like far superior in the outside place, but Agarthans are weird, and they have kind of like really weird dark powers and stuff. So I feel like it might be exclusive to them.
I was gonna say, like they say in the story, they spent like thousands of years just preparing all this stuff to take back Fodlan, and dark magic always in any fantasy game ever always seems to be more advanced than white magic. Like if you're evil, you tend to have the advantage. So much so they were able to recreate the heroes' relics, which I can't imagine is no light feat.
That's true. I forgot because that's what everyone in the final Golden Deer battle is wielding is like faux weapons of the relics.
Yeah, I just think it's something to do with the dark magic, and obviously Tal's what's his name in the what's Edelgard's uncle?
Oh yeah, Edelgard's uncle. That's a secret identity of Thal's.
Yeah, I forget his name. It's gonna drive me wild, but as Mason dies.
As me.
He's obviously an advanced sorcerer because he's able to like launch Byleth off the cliff at the monastery, even with the sword of the creator.
Yeah.
So I think with him leading the charge, they're able to obviously get more advanced with technology. But I do think you bring up a good point where, at the end of the game, Fodlan is seemingly it's broken free from Rhea's like death grip on it, where it's just all about Fodlan, what stays within Fodlan, all that stuff. Where it does get opened up more so to the outside world now, with depending on what route you chose, Petra and Brigid, Claude and Elmira, whatever's going on in Dagdar. If Claude and Shamir end up being romance, I know he goes over there. I do think, yeah, if we're getting back to sequel talk, that could be a leading point behind what could possibly be a sequel.
Yeah, maybe a region outside of Fodlan, but still near enough to it.
Yep.
Something like that.
I remember I had a similar theory whenever I played through Golden Deer.
Mhm.
I actually thought that the outside world wasn't more advanced, but it's kind of like a second world in a sense, where it's like the entire world went into like World War III, and like missiles destroyed everything and sent us back to like a kind of like back to the swords and lances days. And then this is like the world coming back from it, and it's not that they're not having access to the outside world, is that there's nothing to access outside.
Yeah.
This is like the last
Bastion.
kingdom.
It's been more dark.
It's like
Yeah,
everything out there
I mean-
is just irradiated and dead and nothing.
I mean, the Agarthans did have a battle with the followers of Sothis and the god and the goddess, and they seemingly won because they killed all of the saints and used their bones to make weapons and shit.
Which is rad.
Which is holy shit.
Crazy.
They literally
Dope.
ripped out this little girl god's spine and put it into a sword and was like, "Here, Nemesis, you can take this." But yeah, I feel like that could work. That could be why like a lot of the technology, because the children of the gods must have pushed back because they pushed them underground, so they must have some crazy shit must have gone down. And assuming they had the same technology that they do now, which may or may not be true, because like Kolby said, they've been preparing for thousands of years to do this. So maybe they developed that technology in that time. But I feel like that theory could hold some ground depending on the technology used in that really ancient battle, where the rest of the world,
What's his name? Thomas in like the Golden Deer fight, whatever his name was, when he goes evil.
Oh, Thomas.
He, like,
Solon.
Yeah. Oh,
Solon.
Solon.
Solon, that
Yeah,
guy.
the librarian.
He like on his dying breath launches like 80 missiles at where they're at.
He also seals Byleth in like a realm of darkness.
Yeah, that's never explained either.
That's never explained.
The Void of Zaharos or whatever.
That's exactly what it's called. Yep.
I don't. They also said like they were augmenting their bodies or something as well, which I don't think is ever
Cyborgs,
explained.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was more like so they could blend in, like Krania did. I think there was like, the secret of their bodies or whatever.
That's another character. Just gets no elaboration.
Yeah, because he's like, I need to sacrifice. I'm going to kill you, and now I'm going to send this guy into a void, and now he's gonna break time and space and carve out an exit for himself. It's
I'm fucked.
what? Like the fell star name itself isn't really explained, but it obviously refers to Byleth. Like there's a lot of mysteries in this game that it really even in the expanded lore aren't all answered. I don't think, which is intriguing but also frustrating because I really want to know the answers to them.
Right.
But
And
all
what is
for a
with
good
that,
story.
What is with that Tron area? That Tron fight?
Yeah.
The Garthian city.
Yeah, it's like, where's this technology coming from?
Yeah, I have no idea. And then you have those giant ass mech robots with those giant lances too that are a bitch to defeat.
It's the
They had,
11.
like-
It's the
They
1100s.
had
So I
turrets?
know they're not there.
Like I was about to say when I saw that I was like, what is
Yeah,
this?
that-
Is
that-
this
Fantasy?
Fire Emblem?
That took me out of the game for a minute. I'm like, this is really weird.
It's the most anime playthrough I've ever had.
I know. I love how like again, Death Knight. That's another really good battle when you have to pursue the Death Knight through the fortress. But like he's like, hey, look over there, and you look in the sky, and it's like, fucking tactical nuke inbound. And I think I think there was a soldier who, like, in the cutscene right after that, who looks on and, like, laughs almost with, like, he was like, huh, that was my reaction to seeing a nuke destroy that castle. It's like, oh my god. What era are we living in?
Even Hubert's like, this was not part of the plan. We were going to beat them, but we weren't going to blow them to another country.
That's great. I don't know. I think Hubert might be the type who's like, all right, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Edelgard's like, this is awful. Hubert's like,
Hubert's like, yes, of course, yes, yes, of course.
That was my plan. Yes.
That was totally not what I wanted to do. But anyway, seems we may never know if it's that unlikely to get a sequel. We may never know those mysteries answers.
I don't think they're going back to Fodlan.
I don't think so either. It'd be really cool if they did, though.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a shame to like let some of that lore go to waste.
Yeah.
They open up so much opportunity with that kind of land.
Yeah. What I think would be cool is if they like in subsequent games that they reference like events that happened in
and
Fodlan.
they keep it in the same timeline.
Yeah, but they don't like outright say things that would only happen in one route. So they like reference like some things that happened before the time skip.
Yeah.
That that would kind of limit what time period it would take in. But again, I think that would be really cool because it's like, oh god, what route's could be going on right now in this universe? Like what could be going on down there? But
I'd be interested to see. I'd be interested to see if they put some games that are placed in either Duskar or Elmira, because.
Oh, Dusker. Oh, yeah, that could be another thing for a prequel, too. You live through the tragedy of Dusker.
Well, that'd be kind of sick.
Oh, that'd be amazing if they either they explore what was going on before or leading up to it, during it, or the aftermath. Like, just I don't know, they just have so much opportunity with these kind of locations they made.
They really do.
Or they could also kind of explore like some random soldiers or random peasant who just decided to rise up alongside Claude if he went to Elmira to help, I guess, unify everything, but had to like battle all that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's so much they can do.
The battle of Claude versus racism, the lifelong struggle.
That kind of harps on the point that if they were going to go back, like it just makes sense to build off the Claude timeline, which I guess in a way would make it the canon timeline, because he just wants. His one goal is to unify, like, I guess, the world. Like, in the same way Edelgard wanted to take over the world, like, I guess his one goal is just unify the entire the world. So, I don't know if he'd do that by conquest, which could be interesting.
Yeah, that would be an interesting change of tune for him.
They just turn Claude into Alexander the Great.
Like, oh, that was pretty easy. Let's go pay Bridget a visit now.
Mason's theory is right, where everyone like outside of Fodlan and Elmira is just like shirtless peasants working, like eating carrots for dinner, and Claude's like, Jesus, like
Jesus, what happened?
It's a 2-hour game where Claude's like, oh my god, like this was easy.
Like literally the only resistance you meet is like level 1, like farmers with pitchforks. like Judith is like, Claude, please, I think we should stop this. He's like, all for unification.
They have torches and shovels. I have a bow literally made of a goddess's like spine. I think we got this, guys.
That would be probably my favorite Fire Emblem game if it ever came out, to be honest. But
amazing.
Unfortunately, we can't have nice things. So
what about you two? Do you think that we're ever going back to Fodlan, like within the next 5 years?
I sure hope so. I'd love to see more of it.
If we do, it won't be for a while.
Of course. Do you think it's the best Fire Emblem game?
Considering I only played that game, along with only Fire Emblem Blazing Blade and Shadow Dragon Blade of Light, yeah, it would be the best game to me.
Fair enough. I was about to say, it's obviously ours because only one we've played.
It's a top 10 game for me all time. Like, it's
it's like easily probably top 5 for me. But I hope it gets surpassed by the next entry in the series. I hope they really up their game. I feel like it's going to be hard to follow up Three Houses with a brand new like Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they can do it, but I think it's going to be a challenge.
It's the same point that you made on the Outcast podcast 2 weeks ago, where would you just want to make something completely new, or do you want to run the risk of going back and possibly messing up something that people universally love?
Right, the remake versus new game argument.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. All we can do is speculate, and speculation is exhausting if done for too long. But I'm content to sit and wait. I have confidence that they won't let the series just nearly die out like it almost did before.
They're really taking their time, which I think is a great thing, because I think they're just going to let Three Houses bathe in the sun here for a little bit, and then we might not even get Fire Emblem news until next year, which will have been 3 years since it launched. And quite possibly alongside a Switch Pro. Maybe they're just waiting for that so they can buff it up a little bit more, because the graphics in Three Houses are atrocious.
I was about to say, outside of the cutscenes,
the in-game graphics are rough.
Yeah,
they serve their purpose. Again, graphics aren't the most important thing in a game. This game is a prime example of that, where its other aspects, far and beyond, make it greater than the sum of its parts. But yeah, the in-game graphics do leave a little bit to be desired, even with that caveat.
Especially the fruits.
Especially the PNG flat texture fruit in the marketplace.
What about a Fire Emblem game that's like Breath of the Wild?
Oh, God.
I mean, obviously that would be super cool.
Amazing.
I mean, again, the next step in every single game being coming Breath of the Wild eventually. I love that.
Big fan.
Big fan of that plan. But
I'm a huge fan of game companies let's just make our games good.
I mean, that would be super cool, because I feel like it'd be kind of like Genshin Impact in a way, where it's not like one person isolated in a world. It's a very populated world, and there are going to be way bigger battles, I assume, because Fire Emblem's all about huge sprawling wars. So
we just saw with Final Fantasy VII, you can make an open world game with turn-based elements.
Yes, I was about to say there's been a lot. I think action RPG is the same. Is kind of like the title. Trials of Mana, one of my personal favorites, is also like that. I feel like it's becoming an increasingly popular genre, and I think it would be a good fit for Fire Emblem to kind of go towards that area of, more open. It would be difficult because Fire Emblem is less of an RPG and more of a strategy game, I guess. I don't know. It's a meld of the two, and sometimes they're hard to differentiate. But I don't know. I think a Breath of the Wild-esque Fire Emblem game would be pretty sick. Not gonna lie.
It would be.
We're already getting a Pokemon one, so
That's true.
Why
Again, make every single Nintendo series Breath of the Wild. That is the goal.
Speaking of Pokemon, I think I might actually try out the Platinum or Diamond. I don't know, one of the weird
Diamond
names.
Diamond Pro remakes.
the remake.
I think I might actually try it out. I no longer care about the chibi thing. I think it's just a little cute thing now. So I'm like, you know what? I think the main thing is just the game itself. That's what matters.
Oh, I'm gonna play it regardless of the chibi shit.
Oh yeah, a lot.
You do.
Dude,
It's my favorite gen.
It's
Hip
freaking
Hop's
Sinnoh,
not gonna
dude.
get himself level 100. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
One. I don't know. You guys think got two more questions, or
Let's do it.
Oh yeah, dude. Go for it.
This is your show. Make
The
it.
summit thing at some point.
all right, just some fun.
I was about to say, I figured that would be the finale.
I'm
since
not
we were
gonna
talking-
lie, I did it and got a bronze. I just didn't care to tell anybody.
Oh, you did.
Damn.
Damn, man.
I actually got the 5 orbs that I needed.
In the meantime, in
Oh,
an
that's
hour and a
pretty-
half, we've been
Mason
talking.
didn't say anything for a half hour. Little do we know he was just grinding.
Well, that means Kolby will have to spend an additional 5 gems.
Ah, shit.
I was
Okay.
doing the voting gauntlets.
Oh, right.
Oh,
All
my
right.
What about that? Who are you guys voting for?
Oh
Reese.
yeah, that's the one. I remember early on in the episode. I said, "Oh
Yes.
no,
You were
screw
going
that
Reese.
Flame, baby." I'm
think I
Team
might vote for
Flame
Reese.
for sure.
I'll take a look right now. But what were your questions?
Yeah. go
Okay.
ahead.
Who do you guys? Okay. Since I'm somewhat sure if some of you guys didn't recruit some students from the other houses before you do your route or the time skip. Did you guys have to sacrifice some of your favorites that you didn't know were gonna be your favorites?
Oh, my first playthrough is just it's all sacrifices.
Kolby was a bloodbath. His first playthrough.
it was rough. I think my only 3 surviving units were, like, obviously Professor Edelgard, Ingrid, who I recruited, and I think that's it. Those are only 3 that survived because I didn't know what I was doing.
I was about to say I knew about the permanent death mechanic, and Kolby never like used time, like the time pulse mechanic.
Oh yeah, my entire first playthrough, I never once traveled back in time to save somebody.
He never used divine pulse once.
No, because I flew through the instructions. I'm like, okay, kill, I got this.
So that's why he lost everybody.
But yeah, no. In retrospect, losing Petra sucked. I'll say it.
Yeah, for me, like, I knew this was gonna be my first. Going in, like, as soon as I started getting into the groove, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get attached to these guys. I need to be serious about this so I don't lose them. So I have not lost anybody in my playthroughs. I haven't lost a single person.
Nice.
I've used every divine pulse that I had to, and I always found a way to get around any obstacle that I had. Until I got to, I think, the final battle of the Blue Lions route.
Oh my god.
I just couldn't, like, I would redo it. I just couldn't find a way to get by because there was one Edelgard can hit you from across the entire map constantly. So she's bombarding you with shit.
That's annoying.
And then there's that one Agarthan wizard who always brings you down to 1 health immediately.
I think I know what you're talking about. I hate that one too.
Every time, and it was a simple strategy that I finally came up with. I gave Dimitri a throwing lance that I found that I still had in my arsenal, and I used him and a dance, and I just threw him completely into enemy lines. Like, he was surrounded by 5 guys at the time, but I got rid of that wizard.
Really?
Nice.
You didn't think to use Stride on a cavalry unit?
I never used Stride.
Oh, geez,
I didn't even know what it did.
That's my go-to Gambit. That gives any unit +5 movement.
Oh yeah, Gambit. I really didn't make use of Gambits very well in my first, but I did not pay attention to them at all. I'm like, okay, this one has
they're called battalions, but yeah, Gambit.
Oh yeah, sorry, battalions. But I was like, oh, this one covers the most area and does the most damage. Boom, you're on my unit. I never did the support Gambits, so movement was a bit of a struggle for me, especially with armored characters, which I never used anyway.
It's all good. I mean, I didn't even know about combat arts until my second playthrough.
Right. There's just so much to learn. But not knowing something doesn't completely cripple you for the rest of the game, which is nice.
Yeah, it is. And I think I did pretty well on my first playthrough for Golden Year. It's just that I only recruited some units from the other houses. I didn't know about the whole killing off other units. And so I felt really bad. I was thinking, my God, I am a monster. I just gave them feathers so they could come to my house. All they wanted was some feathers, man.
I recruited one person my first playthrough. I recruited Dorothea because she was the only one that I kind of randomly recruited her.
Yeah, sure. That's why you recruited her.
Relax. But she was the only one I recruited for that. And then I think the first student you have to kill is Bernadetta at the Battle of Gronder.
Dude,
was like, and she said I don't want to be here, or something like that. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me right now. I don't want to do this.
I had absolutely no mercy on Bernadetta. I purposely atrocity with Dimitri, hoping to get his crest. I'll double the damage. So I got 400 damage on Bernadetta. It was 39 health. I'm like, this is amazing.
Damn.
In contrast, I vowed to never not recruit Bernadetta ever again. So in every other playthrough, I've always made sure that she was on my team before the time skip happened. But yeah, I guess that's the closest thing I get to a sacrifice, was my first experience killing another student.
That's rough.
It is rough.
That sounds rough. What about you, Mason? You or you're just there are no sacrifices, just death.
Even if I sacrificed someone, I didn't give a shit. They were my enemy. Fuck them.
Wow. The heartless will always be the victors. But
all right then. Okay, for my very last question, how do you guys feel about the monastery mechanic? Like, do you think kind of like after mobile playthroughs, if it kind of like drags on for you, or you guys still love it?
yeah, sorry, you go ahead, Kolby, since you answered first.
It's a great idea, and it does add a lot of new elements to the game that weren't in previous Fire Emblem entries. It is also your primary way of interacting with the characters, recruiting, developing combat arts. You know, just getting to know more about the characters. And if you take anything away from this conversation, is that this game is absolutely carried by its characters. It's still a great game, but the characters really do make it what it is. But I gotta be honest, after the time skip, all I would do is boost morale and just get the hell out of there. I didn't really care. Especially in my later playthroughs, I would just spend all my activity points on battling and leveling up because that's all I cared about. And even some days I would just like skip and do seminars. But I do think it's a great idea. They just need to tinker with it a little bit. Before in development, I read that instead of the 10 activity points max per day you use it, you get 30 activity points per month. That was the original idea. So if you spend 5 activity points on your first free day, you have 25 for the rest of the month that you can use across battling, seminars, all that stuff. They scratched that eventually and just went with the 10 points, but 10 points is just a lot. I wish like the max was like 5 or 6 because I don't know what to do with 10 points. And the DLC stuff obviously adds more to it, but yeah, it drags pretty quickly.
I think that the monastery system of like a hub world should stay because I think it's a nice way of kind of separating having a clear separation between like the battling and the bonding with your units portions of the game. I think it's a good way to kind of, house that element in a realistic scenario, like you have a home base, that's the time you're going to be bonding with your units and not on the battlefield where there are actual like enemies trying to kill you. But I think they should improve it a little bit. I don't think the activity points should stick around. I think they should replace it with a different system. But I enjoyed. It was a little daunting at first because the monastery is pretty big and the map itself isn't super helpful in getting around all the time. Like there are some like interior areas that I just didn't even know existed for like 2 whole playthroughs. But I think having a hub world would still be good in a game like this. So it never really got too bad for me because I enjoyed the grind of it. I enjoyed like having so many activity points that like I'm gonna level up these guys like and they're gonna be unstoppable killing machines. And I have no problem with just grinding out a few quests to make sure I do this next battle right and not lose anybody. So I think it should stay, but I think it should be overhauled slightly.
I am iffy about it. I liked it for the first half when it's like the school, and it's like you go out, you do a mission, and then you come back to the school and prepare for the next mission, all that, it's fine. But when it got to the war part, I was like, this doesn't make much sense. We're going out, like there should be, I feel like it should have been like camps.
I agree. It makes no sense for you to leave your territory and go all the way back to the monastery and then go all the way back out.
Yeah.
In a single day.
Yeah.
All across the country in a day. Like it should have been camps all throughout while you're progressing. Instead of just the monastery over and over again. I feel like they could have done a lot with that.
I think
when
sorry. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Like whenever you do a Black Eagles route and all of you guys go to that little fort area. Should have been more stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I love the idea.
I would say that probably comes down to budget because that's a lot of hub worlds to, get together, and I assume, and it's obvious that this game didn't have the biggest budget / time frame to get done, which makes it all the more impressive what they were able to do with it. But I think that would come down to a budget thing. Obviously, it'd be better, but them only having to reuse like one hub world, but they can still like reposition the characters in different places and things like that. I feel like that was kind of a way to save resources. But I do agree that those camps would be a really cool idea, because I think we also had like the forward camp after you side with Edelgard for the first time. You have that forward camp, and then you have the the main resistance base, the Black Eagle or the strike team, whatever Edelgard named her, the force.
Black Eagle Strike Force.
Yeah.
Was it the Black Eagle Strike Force? I think that's really funny, but yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Actually, that's pretty good.
What about you, Alex?
After a while, like I was loving the monster thing, but I think after I was done with all the three house routes and then the one church route, I was sort of kind of like a bit exhausted from just like constantly seeing my Byleth running around, doing all these little chores. Like first you gotta go to the gazebo, then you gotta go to your students. Then when you got extra points, you either want to do a tournament, and then either learn some new skills from the teachers. But wait, you got some stuff already maxed out, so now you gotta go to the other professors, but they're not available. It's like, what am I doing? Like this is what a real professor does. I don't need to like get that.
I don't need that experience in my Fire Emblem game. That's true. The tedious of it does get a little glaring, but yeah.
I think after the time skip, they could have done something like a bit more easy to deal with. But I guess I understand like why they had the monster thing in the first place.
I guess story-wise, I'm perfectly fine with the first, like, the reunion battle at the monastery, because that fulfills the promise. Like, the whole big thing of this reconnecting is the big promise they made 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm fine with you starting out the monastery, but like Mason said, like, as you progress throughout each territory, you should be able to, like, have different, like, set up camps, because that's what actually, like, happens. Like, you don't want too much real-life elements in your video games, but that would make the most sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just kind of crazy. Just to imagine, like, a big-ass army going, like, to these different locations, but then going right back to...
Yeah.
All right, let's go all the way back now. Yeah.
I'll go down.
And the monastery is, like, dead center in Fodlan, also, so, like...
Or if you're gonna do that, span it out so the war isn't 6 months. Make it like a year and a half, so it like makes more sense.
Right.
Right.
My goodness, it sounds tiring. Just I mean, a bit ridiculous and time-wise as well. Because there will be some battles like, oh, we just had a major battle, but like all of a sudden, like I guess in a day or so, whatever, they just rush right back to the monster. I'm like, how's this possible? Like, what? Does everyone have Pegasus? Like, or whatever? Like.
Oh, maybe they. I mean, they do have battalions of. They can have battalions of like, just squads of Pegasus Knights. So maybe.
Maybe
you went there, did the battle, and came back all in one day.
Oh, that's true, because it is just a calendar day, isn't it? Then you move on to the next.
Yeah.
Unless I guess some major teleportation magic they still haven't shown yet. Well, I mean, we only know they could teleport one person at least.
Yeah.
It's split in hairs, but these are the hairs that need to be split.
Yeah, that's true. As I say, the Agarthans can kind of come in and go whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because they have like that Mega Man fucking teleportation looking thing. Yeah, I honestly I had an elaboration, but it's probably best that I forgot, because I don't want to ramble on any more than I have been this entire time. And I'm so sorry. We're nearing 2 hours. I feel really bad.
Oh, don't worry about it. That's all good.
That's content.
Yeah, and that's pretty much like how this podcast is. We kind of take a bit of our time. At least for like when we first started. But I guess we can move on now to summoning. I mean, Mason already did his, though.
No, I haven't done mine yet.
I'll do it. I'll hash out the 5 orbs.
I got it ready.
Shoot him in the battle. I have to surrender. I'm going back.
What?
I was leveling up my units. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, boys. Where we're summoning at?
I assume we're summoning on the Dogger banner, right?
All right.
Mythic banner. Who wants to go first?
I suppose I'll go first. Okay, you
Uh,
go.
Okay, go ahead.
Or rock, paper, scissors, I don't know.
All right.
He's like, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
1, 2, 3. What's that?
Oh, this isn't working.
This is not
This is not
working very well.
Alright, you just go first.
Fuck it. All right. Which one should I do?
Oh, what do you got? You don't have
Okay, you
Dogger
got-
yet, right?
You got good colors.
No, I do not.
I vote green.
I don't have a green. I need a green for Edelgard, but
What do you guys think, guys? I vote green, so it's
I got the worst kind of colors.
gray. Oh, red.
Everything but green.
Yep.
Mason, go green.
All right.
Green.
Come
All
on,
right, What do you
dog.
got? What do you got?
Shit, it's 3 stars.
Damn.
It's
All right.
Mufasa. Mustafa. I'm sorry.
All right, one lad down,
This guy.
Oh,
3 to go.
I
Damn.
know that man.
All right, Alejandro, I think you may be the next
What do you guys
contestant.
vote? Like,
I'd say blue.
I was
I'd say
gonna go blue as well.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
might get that. What's her name?
Guinevere?
Lucina. Who's really good.
oh,
Well,
Lucina.
Lucina's really good.
alright. Let's go.
Well, that might change what my. I have 3 blue. I might just go hammer here. See if I can get it.
Ah, it's 3 stars.
Oh no, man, 3
Shit.
stars all over the place.
I get her all
She's
the
good, though.
time. Thea?
I get her a lot too. I like 5
She's a-
copies of her right now.
She's a good defensive flyer.
All right.
All right,
She's
Kolby.
good defensive skills, at
summoning.
least.
What do you got? What's your
I'm taking
color?
a. All right. I'm picking a blue. Right, left, or down.
Right.
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 That's
Okay.
Fuck it, right.
All right. Blue. Right. Hopefully we get. Going for Lucina, baby. Oh fuck! I got Ferdinand.
Hey, there he is. We were just talking about him.
I got the noblest of nobles.
I
All
hate
right,
that
so
guy.
I got. So finally comes to me. This
It
is
does.
the time. I got 2 grays of red, blue, and green.
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 Okay, thank God.
See if you get a third one.
Another dogger. Okay, come on.
I'm slashing your tires if you get a third one.
I'm letting the whole animation. I'm letting the whole animation play. Come on. Nope. Frederick, 3 stars.
Damn, what's with the 3 stars today?
Oh man, that was really anticlimactic.
I got the highest one. 4 stars.
Yeah, you got Bird.
You win.
Oh no, my luck is
Yes.
now passed to you.
You got bragging rights now.
Oh,
do.
luck. I pulled Ferdinand.
Anyway. All right. Well, that was
Well,
fun.
everyone, that was a live summoning. Welcome.
It was.
Yeah, thanks. Welcome to the live summoning of 4 summons.
For a combined
None of it
13
good.
stars.
Oh, combined 13 stars. But
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us and doing a live summoning with us. That was amazing in its own way.
of
You
course,
guys wanna, like,
Anytime, guys. Anytime.
yeah, it's always good.
Absolutely.
We've had the absolute honor of through this podcast that we started. You know, we've met these wonderful guys, and you know we've really hit it off in our little podcast friendship. I think we've realized we had a lot in common, especially Fire Emblem. So it's been really great, just connecting with these guys and doing things like this, and then we've had them on our podcast as well, and vice versa with the draft. I believe, yeah, the draft was the first time you guys had come on, and which is really fun, and as was this. So thank you for putting up with me personally for nearly 2 hours, and just for having us on and having us shoot the breeze about some of our favorite games.
Yeah, that's how I said thank you guys so much. It's always a treat to go on another podcast and just shoot the breeze for however long. And my only request is when we do the Pokemon Collab next, I need Fred on here so I can beat his ass in the submission.
Is that a demand that can be met?
For talking shit on every starter I care about.
I mean, that was me too.
That was crazy. Just the whole Twitter thing. Like you guys are saying, like this is
A-
atrocious.
Alex took 12 hours off, and the world just went to shit.
Yeah.
You missed one podcast.
He's like, I gotta work today, guys. You guys got this. No, they didn't.
And he came back and like when he opened up Twitter, his phone caught fire immediately.
Started a war.
I just woke up. I was like, what just happened? You guys saw the memes. I was like posting it on the whole thread. I was just bringing pizza, and then like everyone's like, everything's on fire. Like, what the hell?
I mean, hey,
This is fine.
This is fine.
I mean, hey, I feel like that's part of the fun is the banter that I guess we kind of the three of us, the three podcasts, you guys, us, and the Outcasts are kind of, we've gotten a little bit of a Twitter discourse going on, which is always fun. It gives me a reason to check Twitter every day at least, so I can thank you guys for that. But yeah, again, one final thank you to you guys. It's been a great time as always.
No problem. Anything you guys want to plug in, or is anything like any of your podcasts before we go?
No, I'm kidding. We'll do so. We'll do a little something. Yeah, if you guys are interested in checking out our podcast, it is the Switch It Up podcast. You can find it wherever you find this podcast that you're listening to right now. It's probably on the platform as well. And we just ask that you, if you enjoyed this episode, we think that you will like the content we make as well. So in that way, our two podcasts can kind of support each other and have like audiences as well and have more collabs like this. So, Kolby, unless you have anything more to add, I feel like I've hogged a lot of the time of this episode. So please relieve the audience of my voice, if you will.
I'm gonna spare them and just tell them don't follow our Twitters. Don't do it.
I was about to say, if it's a dangerous game.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're the cool podcast because have you seen anyone else interact with each other like we do?
Exactly.
I was about to say we have that luxury where we know a lot of other podcasts of similar sizes that we can just kind of heckle each other on the Bird app itself.
It's the only social media like I've been experienced where all of us know what's going on at the same time.
Very nice.
Like we all know it's just like we're all
the
joking around.
connection's
It's
just
great.
there.
Right.
It's really good, and we're we can shit talk each other and be like, yeah, this is it's obviously not serious. So.
Yes.
Feels just like high school.
I didn't interact with much people in high school, so this is like a completely different experience, which is amazing.
In our high school, if you got made fun of, that means that you were liked, pretty much. Is that something that you can back up, Kolby?
Yeah, I can back.
I just didn't realize that early enough, so I felt actually. Okay, this is not the time or place to talk about my high school. Thank you guys so much for inviting us on, and yeah, we will be awaiting the next time we get to collab with you guys.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And for everyone listening, yeah, and me, Alejandro, Mason, Kolby, and Tyler from the Switch It Up podcast, and we hope you all enjoyed this episode. Thank you for listening, and yeah, please check these guys on podcasts out. And you'll be hearing from us next time. Well, whenever.
See you later, everybody.